right, so get ready because today we're diving deep into Cloverly Publishing, a publishing company that's doing things a bit differently.
Now, if you're an author or just dreaming of becoming one, well, this is one you don't want to miss.
We are really diving deep into what Cloverly actually does for authors, step by step.
So, Cloverly's approach is pretty fascinating, especially for authors who really want that control over their work and a bigger piece of that profit pie.
Okay, so let's imagine this. You've poured everything into your manuscript. It's ready to go, but the world of publishing, well, it can be pretty tough out there.
Cloverly claims to handle the entire publishing process. But what does that really look like? And how are their services different from traditional publishers?
That's what we're going to unpack today.
One of the things that really makes Cloverly stand out is their commitment to transparency and efficiency right from the start.
For example, their manuscript review process is only 3 days. Compare that to the industry average, which can be weeks or even months,
3 days. That's crazy fast for publishing.
right? And here's the other thing, if they don't want to publish a manuscript, they don't give feedback.
This might seem strange, but think about it. They can focus their energy on books that they believe in, the ones they're really passionate about.
So, no wasted time on projects that aren't a good fit, which means more time and attention for the authors they choose to work with.
Okay, I see the logic there. So, what happens if a manuscript does get chosen by Cloverly?
Well, then Cloverly's team of human editors steps in, and I want to stress the human element because it's so important to them. They care a lot about grammar, clarity, and flow, but they also get that each author has their own unique voice and a distinct style that really needs to be preserved.
So, they're not trying to force authors into some kind of generic mold.
Exactly. Every single edit they suggest is given to the authors for approval. You're in control the entire time, making sure your vision stays true.
Okay, so transparency and author control are big priorities, but what about the visual aspects of the book? Because the look and feel are just as important as the words. How does Cloverly really handle things like typesetting and cover design? They know that the visual presentation is so important to a book's success. That's how. Their typesetting team makes sure that the layout is both functional and looks good. Whether it's an ebook or a physical book, things like margins, fonts that fit the genre, and clear chapter headings, it's all about creating an immersive and enjoyable experience for the reader.
And the cover. That's the first thing a potential reader sees. It has to grab their attention.
Absolutely. And this is where Cloverly's commitment to custom design is really clear. They create totally unique covers, no AI, no templates. And it's all about making your book stand out.
Okay, no AI. That's interesting. We know they have a strict policy against it, but why is it that that's so important?
Well, they have some concerns about quality and ethics when it comes to AI generated content. In fact, lots of big platforms like Ingram, Amazon, and Audible are starting to reject AI generated stuff. They believe that human creativity and expertise are irreplaceable when it comes to making truly unique books.
So, it's a stance that's becoming more common in the publishing industry, pushing back against using too much AI, and it fits with their commitment to human craftsmanship and author control. Makes sense. So, once the editing, typesetting, and cover design are done, what's next?
Well, Cloverly takes care of all those behind the scenes things that can be a pain for authors, like publishing the ebook, assigning ISBNs, and all those technical aspects.
It sounds like they're making things easier so the author can focus on the writing.
Precisely. And to get authors even more excited, Cloverly sends them a galley proof of the print edition. A galley proof is like a sneak peek of the printed book. It lets the author see their work in its final form before it's officially printed.
That's really exciting for an author to finally hold their book in their hands.
Absolutely. And then comes the last step, worldwide distribution. Thanks to their partnership with Ingram, Cloverly can get books into the hands of readers in 72 countries.
Wow, 72 countries. Yep. So we're talking about both print and ebooks being distributed globally.
Exactly. They're maximizing the author's potential audience by making the book available in multiple formats and reaching readers all over the world.
So, we've seen how Cloverly handles the whole publishing process from reviewing the manuscript to global distribution. But I'm curious about the money side of things. How do authors actually profit with Cloverly?
Yeah, so that's the big question, right? Because authors should be paid fairly for their work. So, how does Cloverly system compare to traditional publishing?
Well, one thing authors really like about Cloverly is that they try to get authors the most money possible. That's how their whole system is designed.
All right. So, how does it work? How can authors actually make money with Cloverly? There are basically three main ways: print books, ebooks, and audiobooks. So, let's start with print books. Cloverly uses a 50% wholesale model. That might sound normal, but here's where it gets interesting. Ingram, their distributor, often gives discounts to retailers, but those discounts don't affect how much the author gets.
Hold on. So even if a bookstore gets a discount from Ingram, the author still gets their full 50%. Let's say you have a hardcover that's $25. Cloverly gets $12.50 from Ingram for every copy sold, no matter what discount Ingram gives the store.
So the author gets $12.50 per book, and then the cost of printing comes out of that, right?
Let's say the hardcover costs $5. The author would make a profit of $7.50 for each one sold.
Okay, so that's a decent profit. But what about ebooks? Since there's no printing, I guess the profit is even higher.
You got it. Ebooks can be super profitable for the author because there's no physical book to make. And with ebooks, there's no Ingram involved. The retailer, like Amazon or Apple, sells the ebook directly. They take their cut, usually around 30%, and then the rest goes to Cloverly. Who pays the author?
How much would the author actually get?
The author would get about $7 per copy. And remember, that's all profit, not printing costs.
Wow. That's a lot more than they'd get from a print book. Even with a higher price on the hardcover, I can see why Cloverly really focuses on ebooks as a good way to make money.
Yeah, they see ebooks as a big part of an author's success. Now, the third way to earn is audiobooks. Audiobooks have gotten really popular lately. Cloverly's audiobook division does it all from making the audiobook to getting it out there. Authors get 40% of the money from each audiobook sold.
40%. That's pretty good compared to most publishers.
It is. And audiobooks are usually priced higher than ebooks or print books, so authors can potentially make a lot of money.
So if an audiobook is $24.99, that's almost $10 in profit for the author for each sale.
Exactly. And some audiobooks sell for even more, especially if they're really popular or have a famous narrator. It's a growing market, and Cloverly is in a good position to help authors take advantage of that.
So we've got print books, ebooks, and audiobooks all set up to maximize author earning. But Cloverly also offers some unusual services. What are some of the things they do or don't do that make them stand out?
One of the most interesting things about Cloverly is they really focus on what actually helps authors be successful. For example, they don't offer creative writing classes or consulting.
Really? That's not something you see every day from a publisher. You'd think they'd want to help new writers.
You would, but their thinking is pretty clear. They're not a writing school, they're a publishing company. They're good at taking finished manuscripts and getting them published, not teaching people how to write. They want authors who are ready to publish.
Okay, so they're focused on what they do best, which is publishing. What else makes them different?
Well, this might be surprising, but they really believe in print editions.
Even now? Why is that?
Well, they think print books offer something special that ebooks just can't match. They see print books as a way to get discovered. A physical book in a store can catch someone's eye in a way that an ebook online might not.
It's true. There's something about holding a real book. You can browse, you can flip through the pages. It's a different experience.
Exactly. And Cloverly believes that offering both print and ebooks is the best way to reach the most readers.
So it's about giving readers choices, whether they like bookstores or reading on their devices. Makes sense. So we've talked about no creative writing classes and the focus on print books, but what other unusual services do they offer?
We already mentioned their no AI policy, which is pretty bold.
Right? It's all about that human touch. But it's not just about rejecting AI, is it? It's about valuing human creativity and expertise.
Exactly. They believe that humans are essential for creating great books that connect with readers, and I think that shows their commitment to working with authors.
It's about respecting the work of writing and seeing each book as something special.
Exactly. Now, another unique service is their social media book, Blitz Package, for authors who want to use social media but don't necessarily have the time or know how. Cloverly takes care of everything.
So it's like having a social media team just for your book.
Exactly. They create social media accounts for the book, make posts, run ads, and talk to the readers. The author doesn't have to worry about any of it.
Wow, that's a lot. It sounds like they're really doing everything they can to help authors succeed.
They are. And for some authors, they even set up TV interviews.
TV interviews, that's huge. How did they decide which authors get that?
It's not totally clear, but it seems to be based on things like the genre, how many people might like the book, and the author's platform.
So they're choosing authors who they think will benefit the most.
Exactly. It's all about getting the book out there. And that says a lot about how much they care about their author's success.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Cloverly's process, their money model, and their unique services. But one thing that stands out to me is their focus on the human element, the personal support that they give each author. It's not just a business transaction, it's about building a relationship.
That's really important to them. They believe in working with authors as partners.
Right. It's about helping authors reach their goals.
And you can see that in how they support authors.
Okay. So tell me more about that. What kind of support can authors expect from Cloverly?
From the moment they accept the manuscript, the author gets a dedicated project manager.
Okay. I want to hear more about these project managers. What do they actually do?
Sure, they're like your book's own personal cheerleader. At Cloverly, they're your go to person for the entire publishing process. They walk you through each step, answer any questions you might have, and handle anything that comes up.
So, no more feeling lost, sending emails that go nowhere, or trying to figure out the publishing world on your own. You've got someone there to help you and your book every step of the way.
Exactly. And you can reach them by phone or email, so they're always there when you need them.
That kind of support is rare in publishing, especially with big companies. It sounds like Cloverly really wants authors to feel supported and in control.
They do. And it's more than just having one person to talk to. Cloverly believes in clear communication. They actually talk to their authors, not just send automated emails or use those impersonal online forms.
So they build a real relationship with the author.
Exactly. That personal touch can make a big difference, especially for authors who are publishing for the first time. It can be a lot to handle, but having someone to guide you makes it easier.
It's like having a mentor in the publishing world, someone who's been there and knows how it all works. And knowing you have that support can let you focus on writing.
Right. And in the end, that's what makes Cloverly different. They're challenging the traditional publishing model and doing something new, something more transparent, more fair, and more focused on the author.
Okay, so to sum it up, Cloverly does everything from reviewing manuscripts to distributing books worldwide. They offer a profit sharing model that benefits authors, and they give amazing support throughout the process.
And they do it all while believing in human creativity, rejecting AI content, and embracing print books.
Which makes me wonder if Cloverly's model is so good for authors. Why isn't everyone doing it? It sounds almost too good to be true. Are there any downsides?
That's a great question. While the benefits for authors are clear, there might be some challenges we haven't thought about.
Like what?
Well, there's no AI policy. While it's good ethically, it might make it harder for them to grow as quickly as companies that use AI. AI can automate certain things, which can be helpful in publishing.
That's true. AI is getting more advanced, and some people think it can actually help human creativity, not replace it. Cloverly is taking a risk by not using AI at all, but it fits with their values.
Exactly. And their focus on print books. While many authors like it, it could be seen as a disadvantage. Print books are great, but they cost more to make and distribute, which affects profit.
Right. And these days, ebooks and audiobooks are just easier and faster.
Exactly. So Cloverly is balancing things. They're betting on print books and human connection in a digital world. It'll be interesting to see how it works out for them.
It's definitely an interesting experiment, but for authors who want a transparent and author focused experience, Cloverly seems like a great choice.
Absolutely. They're doing something unique, and their support for authors is really impressive.
Well, that's about it for our deep dive into Cloverly Publishing. We've learned a lot about their services, their unusual approach, and their commitment to authors.
They're not just publishing books, they're building a community and helping authors succeed.
So, if you're an author with a finished manuscript or even just starting out, check out Cloverly. They might not be for everyone, but if you value control, transparency, and support, they're worth the look.
And as you keep writing, whether you're choosing Cloverly or not, remember that your story is powerful. Don't be afraid to share it.
It's a great point. So, here's something to think about. If Cloverly can succeed by putting authors first, why aren't other publishers doing the same? Keep writing. And maybe someday we'll be talking about your published book.
We're always looking for new and inspiring stories.
Until next time, happy writing and reading.